Absolutely. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak today. And, I just, from the first time I got a chance to meet Joel to seeing the great work that Green Biz is doing to really get the word out about how important it is to be part of a circular economy, but also to really understand why we should be part of the circular economy. It's that why that I think drives everything. When I don't care if it's football or business or whatever you do for a living, your purpose is what fuels you. Your purpose and your passion is what allows you to get through those rough days. And for me, the reason to why I want to talk about no throwaway resources and no throwaway kids, because my purpose is my kids. The reason I do this work is because my kids were born severely premature. They had some issues with their lungs not being fully developed, and it was the air quality in Atlanta that almost killed them because the smog alerts or the parts per whatever was too high. My kids had to hide from the environment, and as a two-time All-Pro NFL fullback who had the influence and had the platform, but just wasn't focused on the environment, I realized that I wasn't doing my job as a father and as a citizen of this planet if I didn't use sports to talk more about sustainability. So I really think that it's an issue where we all want to do the right thing. We all care about our fellow human beings, but we just don't understand how important it is to involve everyone to really solve this. I've been in the green space for about 10 years. And when I go from conference to conference, I always ask people to look to their left and their right and to see if the conference or its participants or the green space that they work and live in looks like America, looks like the world. And they always shake their heads and say, no, it doesn't. But it's the same thing year after year. We're getting closer, but we need to move much faster because this problem is getting much bigger. And with COVID-19, it's kind of just shined a light on how this pandemic is kind of showing who are the haves and who are the have-nots. Who are the ones who are going to be disproportionately affected by COVID-19 are the underserviced or the poor communities, communities of color. Same thing with this environmental crisis. The ones who are going to be severely damaged by it if we don't do something to move closer to circularity are poor communities, underserviced communities, communities of color. So the question is, why aren't we doing more as an environmental community to make sure that these kids who want to be part of the solution, these kids who want to be a part of trying to help make things better, are invited to the table to help us and help themselves? My kid, I have a 11-year-old Olivia, 8-year-old Nasia, and a 5-year-old, my son, Obasi, and my wife's at home teaching them right now, going through homeschooling, and they all are about everything that can help them each other. They're interested. They're like sponges. They want to learn more. But when I go to certain schools in Atlanta or across the country, depending on the ethnic makeup of the school, unfortunately, it depends. It determines how much they're doing in the environmental space, how much they're learning about sustainability and the green economy, and we have to change that. So what I've been doing is using some of pretty new ways to try and get the word out. I work with comic books. I have a great partnership with the Recycling Partnerships, and we're doing the second version of my Gridiron Green comic. And this is something that I feel like is going to find a unique and innovative way to get kids excited. Because if you can show kids that going green is fun, then it makes it not work. You're not dragging them to the table. They're running to the table. My foundation also does great work with the sports world where we try to do green tailgates because we try to teach people to tailgate in an environmentally responsible way. So hopefully it can be a gateway into understanding that if you love sports, the same way people are saying, hey, if you want sports to happen in the fall, wear your mask. If you want sports to happen, period, need clean air, you need clean water, you need God's green earth to play the sports we love. That should be a no-brainer. But unfortunately, I've been the first NFL player to have a fully environmental foundation, and I'm excited to work with much more athletes who are understanding that we need to talk about this to really push this forward. Before my time runs out, I just need to touch on the fact that with the way the country's moving right now, we know that social justice is an extremely important thing, but the environmental justice issues that we're seeing on a day-to-day basis are just as important as social justice. If I was a current player right now, I'd be definitely talking about ways I can help my community and people who look like me. But I wish that we can also, in the same vein, not wait for a disaster to happen, because it's a slow moving disaster that's happening to our environment, to have our athletes also talk about the environmental justice issues that occur in communities of color. Because when the wildfires and the hurricanes and the tornadoes and the floods, and we don't need another Hurricane Katrina, we don't need another Flint, Michigan, we don't need to wait for another disaster to happen before we also give this very important issue the attention it deserves. So I can be nothing but excited and nothing but hopeful with the future, with how people are not just staying quiet, not just waiting for somebody else to fix the situation, not hoping that if they stick their head in the sand it goes away. People are motivated to do the right thing. And even though I played 10 years in the NFL, I went to the playoffs 5 times, and I lost every single time, unfortunately. Got no Super Bowl rings, got a couple of great memories with Deion Sanders and playing with Tony Gonzalez. I still have a winning spirit that just lives inside of me. My father used to always say, he's a Nigerian immigrant, came into this country and worked his butt off. He now is a successful doctor. My mom helps run 3 offices. He used to always say that, we're all winners. Everyone's a winner. And I get with youth sports, we can't all be winners, but in this frame, we all can be winners. We all can definitely score touchdowns, win Super Bowls, be successful if we really put our minds, our hearts, our souls, our spirits to helping to create a circular economy where we all work together and where every kid is a part of this. No kid needs to be put to the side. No kid should be asking to be a part of this game and saying, pick me, pick me. They're all chosen. We're all chosen. We all have to be a part of making conference after conference be where you look to the left, you look to the right, and it looks like America, it looks like the world. Because if we just have a small segment of the population that we're talking to and saying, circularity is important, the environment's important, sustainability is important, and year after year, we don't increase the diversity of that population, we're not going to be successful. And we kind of have no choice. According to my kids and all kids, we're in charge. We're the ones with the control. We're the ones doing these fancy conferences, and we're the ones who have a responsibility to make sure we get it right. It's enough of kicking the can down the road, enough of saying next generation will do their best. No, we have to not only do our best, but we have to get it done. So I can talk as long as I want, but really, I look forward to just working with as many people who want to get on the job. My day job now involves sustainability consulting. I'm doing some really exciting stuff with some of the cleaning and sanitizing with drones. We're talking to the Cowboys and the Falcons and several other NFL teams and venues to find ways to make sure we can do it in a safe and sustainable way. So it's find where your passion is and find a way to do better, because we all know better at this point. Thank you.